This morning I'm speaking with Olive Moyer, who is the Executive Director of the Berlin, Maryland Chamber of Commerce, located in Berlin, Maryland, which is a beautiful little seaside resort nestled between Ocean City, Maryland and Salisbury, Maryland. Good morning, Olive, and welcome.
Good morning, Carl. Thank you.
Olive, why don't you tell us, you've been the Executive Director now of the Chamber for about a year and a half, and you've made some changes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the successes that you've enjoyed in the past 18 months?
Well, Carl, you know, the Berlin Chamber of Commerce is all about connecting businesses, supporting our local businesses, and helping them grow. And that is our tagline: connect, support, and grow. You know, over the last year and a half, I have learned a lot and have had so many experiences working with local businesses and so many success stories as well. And in return, it is extremely rewarding to be in this position. Some of the success stories that I would like to mention is, one of them was, we had a recent business expo which allows our businesses to display all their work, exhibit at a one location. We had over 47 businesses exhibiting, and we paired up with the Ocean Pines Chamber of Commerce as well. So it was bigger and better than we have ever done before. And some of the things that worked really well is, for instance, two businesses next to each other, a winery and a golf course, partnering up with each other after spending the whole night next to each other and realizing they both have something to gain from their relationship. Also, a success story is a attendee that came in who is a massage therapist that ended up talking to a salon and getting a job through them. And I think that's really what the Chamber is all about, is connecting these people with each other and providing opportunities to do just that. And one another. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carl.
Well, I was going to say, so these connections, these are something that, do these happen organically, or are they something that you sort of facilitate with the activities and things that you put together?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, it does help to have in a place or an event to facilitate the networking. But a lot of these people come in, you know, knowing somebody else or been invited by somebody else that has been to a chamber event, and then they come and, you know, then that is what I say, organically growing, word of mouth. Hey, you got to come to some of these events. I think you would really enjoy it because I made a connection. Maybe you will too.
You know, I've been to some Chamber of Commerce events in other towns, and they're sort of sleepy and humdrum. Well, what are some of the things that you do that make you unique as a chamber of a small town?
Well, you know, we do a lot of the typical things that chambers do, such as, you know, the business after hours, the business breakfast hours, and we do provide workshop opportunities as well to help, you know, small businesses grow, such as low-cost marketing or advertising ideas, providing education and workshops on social media and how to use it properly. Also on, you know, a quick demo on QuickBooks and how to use your financial statements and to stay within your budget. But some of the other things that we do that I think set us apart from some of the other chambers is that we have this beautiful town, you know, Main Street, Berlin, historic, and the Chamber of Commerce has these great events in town. All year long we do. We kick it off with a you know, a New Year's Eve celebration to kick in the new year, and then we just had our spring celebration in April, which is always the Saturday before Easter Sunday, and it's all about family and children coming together, and it's just a wonderful event. Coming this Saturday, we have a Jazz and Blues Fest, which is about 7 musicians, jazz and blues, national, regional, local artists, as well as a lot of our local artists in town displaying and selling their work, which also brings businesses into town. We have so many people volunteering that are on the chamber just to help bring these events together. It is amazing how this community comes together to pull off such extravagant events in town. You know, it keeps going on that.
Let me talk a little bit about the New Year's event, because that was something that I would think that you took a little chance on. You stuck your neck out a little bit and did something a little different, and from what I understand, the results were 4 to 5 times what you expected. Why don't you tell people what you did on New Year's?
Well, in Berlin, we actually had a New Year's Eve celebration where we kind of tried to mimic New York City, but of course on a much smaller scale. And we actually had a ball drop from the clock in town, and we had over 1,000 people to attend that. And we did not anticipate that whatsoever. We were thinking a couple hundred people would come out.
So you ran short on hot cocoa maybe, and maybe restroom facilities need to be beefed up for next year?
Yeah, and I think heaters would be highly recommended. It was a little chilly that night. But, you know, and this whole New Year's Eve celebration started from a board member, a chamber member, and a small business owner. All one person, Barb Stack, who came up with this idea to have this New Year's Eve celebration, and she fought for it and worked on it and made it happen, and that's what it's all about.
It sounds like small businesses themselves can learn from you. I'm sure a lot of businesses would like to have a stellar success right out of the gate with a new offering, a new product offering, a new development release, anything like that.
Oh, of course. Well, I think it provides a lot of, it opens up the window for businesses to volunteer their time, to bring events and interesting events and fun events to town that brings business into their store and into Berlin, because it's a win-win for everybody.
Some of the things that you have spoken about already, you talked about an environment that fosters creativity, and small business owners can sort of gel and congeal and get together and come up with something that's greater than themselves. You mentioned the partnerships with the golf course and the winery and the massage therapist and things like that. So you've got that environment, somehow you've got the right mix that seems to gel and allow businesses to flourish. What are some other reasons maybe that, in your opinion, someone might want to become a member, even if they're not from the town of Berlin?
That's a really good question. I get asked that all the time. And one of the things I like to tell people who are outside of Berlin is that Berlin has a lot to offer right downtown, and so many people. And I think sometimes people get the idea, oh, Berlin's just this small little town, you know, there's really nothing there. There's no reason why I should become a member of the Berlin Chamber. However, you know, we have one of the great connections is stand-up paddleboard from Delaware, who decided to join the Berlin Chamber because they wanted to be connected with some other members in our chamber. They're the only members of our chamber in Berlin, to help promote her business down here in Assateague. And she's partnered up with Frontier Town as well, and to be able to offer classes. So it's just opens up, you know, the whole networking in your resources instead of sticking into just the town that you live in.
Well, it's interesting to me, having visited Berlin and being from the area, is that we live in an area that gets a massive population increase in the summertime, and those are tourists, and they like to put little towns like Berlin as a destination spot. But year-round, there are things going on in these towns. The Ocean City area kind of dries up a little bit in the wintertime, even though there's some year-round residents there. But Berlin, not so much. There's always some kind of activity going on, even in the coldest of winter months.
Yeah, sorry about that. We always try to keep it interesting. You know, throughout the winter, we continue with our Second Friday art strolls. And, you know, that's when shops and galleries and the restaurants, they all stay open late. And they also promote our local artists by displaying their artwork every month. A lot of our galleries and shops in town will exhibit different artists, and also have musicians as well, and music on the streets. And you know, those things just bring people into town and keep the shopping and spending and strolling around the town more exciting.
And one of the things that I would consider unique, being a father of a now 10-year-old, the Halloween celebration in Berlin is something like I've never seen before, and it is a community involvement event that I've just never seen people decorate their houses like this for Halloween in a long stretch of town, and thousands go through the area. It's just trick-or-treaters and parents, and it's just a buzz of activity.
Oh, it's amazing how well people come together in our town, especially during Halloween and Christmas. And oh gosh, when you think about when we turned the town pink in October in support of Women Supporting Women and Breast Cancer Month, we turned the whole town pink. Everybody decorated the windows, and and we had pink ribbons throughout the town on there. And then Women Supporting Women came in and did a candlelight service and a march down Main Street. It was just beautiful, and everybody came together. And just like for the Jazz and Blues coming up on Saturday, all the merchants are decorating the windows in jazz, blues, and whatever to promote that event.
Well, it sounds like an engaged community. I was not even aware of the breast cancer awareness celebration, but that sounds like a tremendous success as well. So tell us, how do people find out about these upcoming events? You've referenced a few of them, but I'm sure there are more all the time. How do people find out about these?
Well, of course, we have our website, which is www.berlinchamber.org. And we always have our featured event right on the home page on the right. But if you click, we have a calendar there. It's not only the events in town, the chamber events, it's also events that our members are throwing. The churches, anybody offering special deals, it just goes on and on. So we definitely try to promote everything that's happening in Berlin. But we also have a Facebook page, and right now we have close to 850 followers on Facebook.
850 followers?
Yes, we sure do. I think it's pretty impressive for such a little town to have so many people following what we're doing. And we also send out weekly email blasts, and they go out to about 750 people right now. And what's great about that, it doesn't just go to the people here in town. It goes worldwide. So there's people hearing about what's going on in Berlin right here, from Romania or Germany or something like that. So it's pretty nice.
It is. I think what you've done is admirable. What you've been able to do with the chamber. It is an engaged chamber. I've been to for the people watching, I've been to some of the networking events and the training events on social media and how to run your business better. I'm a small business owner. They're exceptional. They're well put on. There's a meal involved. They feed you at these things.
And we got to keep happy.
You're right. You got to keep. How about some famous last words? Anything else that you want to say for the good of the order?
Well, a couple things I want to say is that we're moving into a bigger building June 1st. So we are continuing to grow ourselves, and this building offers more space for our members to display their brochures and post their bulletin messages. And also we're going to have artists stalls in the back, which 10 by 10 spaces there, and so people can come in. That could be a first stop for all the tourists and visitors in town, to stop right in there to look at what Berlin has to offer, to look at what our members have to offer, and then start the tour through Berlin. What amazes me all the time is how popular The Runaway Bride is. Still to this day, after I think it's been close to 12 years since that was filmed, and throughout the day there's at least 3 to 5 visitors that stop in to ask about Runaway Bride and to get the Runaway Bride walking tour map. So that is our most popular thing. That movie put us right there on the map. Everybody needs to know where everything was filmed, where Julia Roberts ran away, where her bridal store was. So,
I did not know you had a walking tour map, so that's new information for me. So terrific. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that movie, because I remember when that happened, and it is something that sort of made the town famous. It's been terrific speaking with you this morning. I've learned a lot about the Chamber. Hopefully our viewers did too, and your viewers, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you very much, Carl.